Thanks for tuning in to the Old Dirty Basement. On today's episode, we're wrapping up part 2 of the Long Island Lolita, Amy Fisher and Joey Buttafuoco.
Ah, yes. We return to the complete auto body repair shop. Come for the service, stay for the lube.
Yeah, this is almost as good as Flagrante Delicto, as I learned about today. And no, that's not John Wick or a fancy restaurant. Stay tuned.
Yeah, a lot of juicy details at the end of this, so we hope you enjoy it. Speaking of which, if you're enjoying the podcast, and we hope you are, leave that 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple. Also, you can leave a written review, really help us out. And sit back, relax, and enjoy this part 2 of the Long Island Lolita.
This is the Old Dirty Basement, home to debauchery, madness, murder, and mayhem. A terror-filled train ride deep into the depths of the devil's den.
With a little bit of humor,
History.
And copious consciousness.
I'm your announcer, Shallow Throat. Your hosts are Dave, Matt, and Zap. I love you, Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right.
hey, this is Dave,
Matt,
And Zap.
and welcome to the Old Dirty Basement.
where every week we cover a true crime.
Murder.
Or compelling story.
So sit back.
Relax.
And comprehend.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Old Dirty Basement. I am Matt. With me always is Dave and Zap. How's it going, gentlemen?
Good.
Yeah, man, how are you?
I'm good over here.
Over here.
I'm over here.
Yeah, with that in mind, we must be talking about Joey Buttafuoco.
Yeah, Joey, we were talking about him, last week?
Joey Wrenches.
Joey Wrenches.
Joey B, or Joey G, whatever they would call him.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be at least 2 parts. It was just like so much to go into, and
It is.
I figured. And yeah, still a lot more to go through, and excited to get to it.
Hell yeah, man.
We're talking about Amy Fisher also.
Well,
Joey Buttafuoco.
Let's not forget the his love interest,
The Long Island Lolita.
Long Island Lolita.
You guys ever see that movie, Lolita?
It's just called Lolita.
I think Jeremy Irons is in the a new version of it. But
Is that the one where Madonna sings a song?
no.
Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
No,
Yeah.
why would she sing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina"?
I don't know. Isn't that Lolita?
No, she would say "Don't Cry for Me, Lolita,"
What?
not Argentina.
What does Lolita mean?
You're talking about the Spanish lady. What was that?
My Big Fat Greek
Greek
Bitch.
Wedding. Yes, part 3.
Yeah.
She's saying "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" in that one.
What does Lolita mean? Just like,
Hussy.
is that what it is?
Wait. You're saying with respect to the Long Island Lolita?
Just the word Lolita.
So Lolita was actually a book, and it was of Russian nature, written by some Rusky about a dude who was, he wasn't an ephebophile. He was actually a hebophile. So he was into
What's that?
Gardening.
early pubescence.
I thought Dave said curling,
No, it's a
like in the
garden
Olympics.
herbivore.
Herbivore.
Close.
Herbophile.
So he was a hebophile, and which means he was into basically it's a grown ass man who's into 10 to 12-year-olds.
In the middle.
So he became, in this book, Lolita, he became obsessed with this girl named Lolita. That was, again, just a little girl at the time. And then he just it's the story of him, just fucking with her whole childhood
I think she was 15 or 16 in the movie.
So she ended up going on in the book. She went on to have a decent life and a husband and all that
she
good
got
stuff, and
married
had a
and stuff,
kid.
and yeah.
He ended up just a drunkard or just broke as a joke or just a piece of shit, but whatever. Read the book. It's,
And that's where Lolita came from.
He got so infatuated with this girl that he married the mom, even to get that more close to her.
Well, that's a fun fact, yeah, because I just never knew what the term Lolita, where it came from, if it was like...
Watch the movie. It's streaming. It's actually a pretty
it's
good
called
watch.
Lolita.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. It's kind of like a Munson, from the... all of a sudden...
Herman Munson?
No, Munson from Kingpin. All of a sudden, that name's synonymous with screwing up.
Yeah, he did a Munson.
You Munsoned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you meant in science class, the Munson burner.
Yeah, that's
No, that's from the Muppets. Munson Honeydew.
Yes. Jimmy. Yeah.
Jim Munson.
Munson.
Jim Munson. All right. So many Munsons.
Right.
Oh, wait. One more. There's one more. Munson, I think, was the last name of the Eddie Munson. Eddie Munson, I think that's his last name. The guy, the long hair from the last season of Stranger Things.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Munson, was it? That played
Mike Drop.
That played the guitar.
He did.
Yeah.
And then the bats were after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the new season of that? Isn't that coming soon?
So there was a recent writer's strike, so they're not going to do shit until they can get that going. P.S. The kids are now adults, so let's work on that.
Yeah, the one's married. The other one's like, I think, 37.
That's right. The girl, 11, is married to John Bon Jovi's son.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jim Bon Jovi.
James
Bon Jovi.
How about that?
James Herbert Bon Jovi.
Well, enough about James and John and bullshit. Let's get back to Joey.
Yeah, let's get back to Joey and Amy.
All right. So when last we saw these two, we had spoken about Amy Fisher's background, her formative years, her sexual sexcapades as a teenager, an abortion she had had. We then talked about how she met Mr. Buttafuoco.
Sounds like a Bruce Springsteen song.
Sexcapades?
You like sexcapades she had in the abortion that she just got done with. Sounds Springsteen. It's very Springsteen.
Streets
song.
of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
She met Joey Buttafuoco because her parents had a busted car.
On the streets of Long Island.
Streets
on the
of
streets of Long
Massapequa.
Island, in
Yeah.
Massapequa.
Yeah.
She ended up messing up her car, having to take her car there, and took a liking to Joey. After that, she started messing up her car on purpose, scratching it, denting it, doing whatever. Just anytime she needed to go to get a repair, that's where she went, and she would intentionally need repairs.
Because they did all kinds of repairs there.
Yeah.
I think Matt used to do that. He used to split his lease up into like 10 payments at the when you were renting. Remember that?
Television?
Oh no! When
No.
I had an apartment,
Yeah.
and it was funny. Dave, I think, would deliver to this to said apartments. The what do they call it? The clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was nice.
Yeah.
She always had candy.
Yeah. Instead of paying once, you just go.
Yeah, but I would go like you paid 3 times this week, Matt. It's like, no,
I'm just trying to pay as you go.
make sure.
Oh, I see.
And she'd be like, "Would you like some candy, Matt?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Of course I would."
Didn't you go out jogging too? Like when
What the fuck?
he'd see her like, and then he'd go out like he's jogging.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, funny.
Yeah, like I
saw
stopped
you.
in, I was like, just got done with training for a marathon. Here's my payment. She's like, "Oh, Matt, you're always on time." I know.
Matt Fisher.
Every
Silly.
week.
You silly.
Every 3 days, you show up with more money. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So let's see. Oh, all right. So now Amy is falling for Joey. Not just falling for him, she becomes obsessed with him. Joey ends up she gives him the ultimatum, like, look, it's either your wife or me. He chooses his wife. She breaks it off with him, ends up meeting up with this dude or get into a relationship with this dude, Paul Makeley.
Physical physique.
That's right. Future physique.
A future
Yeah,
physique.
physical future.
It's the only gym with a DeLorean.
Yeah.
So a flux capacitor.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, she still needed and craved that Joey
She was also an escort at this time.
for all the right
Yeah,
reasons.
yes.
Oh, that's right. By now, she's an escort / prostitute, making
Who
good
knows? Allegedly. We don't know.
No, she's banging dudes.
Okay.
100% banging dudes. Underage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, so she gets back together with Joey, goes to her hairdresser's one day. Here's her hairdresser complaining about some chick going after her boyfriend. And oh man, she would just do anything to kill this girl. That gives Amy the idea, oh, what a good idea. Maybe I could go kill Joey's wife, and then he would have no choice but to be with me.
And the hairdresser, like, I was being facetious. I wasn't really serious about that.
Wow.
Speaking of allegedly, how about that? Just to get off rails real quick. How about that picture of that
It's
jersey?
never really quick.
It's never really quick. At the Bills game, the guy had an OJ jersey on,
That's the best.
and on the nameplate on the back, it's number 32 for the Bills. It says allegedly for the name on the back.
That is so fantastic. I need that jersey.
It is a good one.
So the name Simpson is replaced with allegedly.
Allegedly.
Fantastic.
32.
Real quick, off the tracks again.
It's never really quick.
Off the tracks again. We're going to get back on. We're taking a quick detour.
Right.
We're going to come back to the road. But you guys, I saw Kevin Bacon. We've had a lot of movies with Kevin Bacon in it. Got to see him and the Bacon brothers. It's him and his brother, who is a professor of music at a place in Brooklyn, I think.
Okay.
Not quite sure of the name. But do you guys know where Kevin Bacon's from?
Pennsylvania.
Yes, he is. He's
No
from
way.
Philadelphia.
Is he?
Yes.
Didn't know
Born,
that.
raised, grew up. He has like a whole t-shirt, like it's a Philly thing. And I was like, what the heck's that t-shirt for? And Megan's like, because he's from Philadelphia.
Is the word thing crossed out and John is written underneath it?
No, it just says it's a Philly thing and it has like Bacon Brothers. Yeah, but him and his brother are like big Eagles fans. Big.
Wow.
They're Kevin Bacon's a Pennsylvania proud. So I thought that was a cool thing.
Who knew?
Yeah, who
and
knew?
It was just here in Hershey.
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
just right here in Hershey.
That's fantastic. I love bacon.
Mm-hmm.
So do I. It's crispy and delicious.
Fucking tear up some bacon, dude.
Looked like Buttafuoco liked it too.
Making bacon.
Yeah.
So speaking of making bacon, so not only did Amy get this idea from her hairdresser, she went on to ask her hairdresser where she could find a gun. Her hairdresser put her in touch with a guy named PDG, real name Peter Gugenti.
He's a beast on the saxophone too.
Allegedly. And she's a beast on the skin flute.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You know that's right.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So let's see. Oh, so she gets the gun, or while in the process of getting the gun, she tells Joey.
Got a gun.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Amy says to Joey, "Hey Joey, how are ya?" She says, "Hey Joey, I got this idea. I'm going to go shoot your wife." And Joey says, "Oh, hey man,
it's fantastic.
Here's how you should do
idea.
it." That's according to Amy, but according to Joey, that is all made up. Well, then on one day, May 19th, 1992, Amy, driven by PDG, drives to the Buttafuoco house, knocks on the door, gets into a discussion with Mary Jo, and when Mary Jo doesn't give Amy the answer that she wants to hear, right to the face.
Oh,
right to the face.
That was fantastic. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So a flustered and scared and frightened, for lack of a better word, Amy drops the gun right there at the doorstep and
at the scene
and flees. PDG says, "You dumb bitch, go get the weapon. You cannot leave the weapon here." This
is quoted.
Yes, right. He says, "You dumb bitch."
Yes, that was quoted from PDG.
Absolutely. He says, "Go get the gun and the T-shirt and let's get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
So
get in a Thunderbird and get the hell out.
That's it. And off away they drove. And that's where we ended last time.
Yeah, and so that day that happened, across the street from the Buttafuocos was a retired police officer. And he was sitting out on his deck and I guess had a nice view of the water there because they're right on the water. And he heard that gunshot. Of course, being in law enforcement, he knew exactly what it was. He ran around the house, heart beating, what the hell was that? And then he looked across the street and saw her slumped over on the porch.
Yep.
Yelled into his wife, "Call 911. Right away, got over there, checked her pulse. It was very faint. But thank God that he was there that quickly because she would have bled out.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So I had read not only about that one, I'd actually read that 3 neighbors heard the shot and 3 neighbors made their way to Mary Jo, while that police officer's wife was the one that called. Stay home. Hey, woman, know your place. Stay home. Call 911.
Yeah.
Make me some cake.
I think I'm sure like he was probably the most calm of the because he's been around it and all that, so he probably kind of let them all like, hey, you do this, you do that, and
we probably saw too that she was still alive. There was like hope. So
he said like the pulse was faint, but it was there.
So despite suffering a gunshot to the face, a severed carotid artery, and a bullet lodged in her skull that couldn't be removed, after 9 hours of surgery and 2 days on a respirator, Mary Jo lived.
Amazing.
Amazing. Again, Dave, she could have bled out right there on the porch.
Oh my God, yeah.
Nowadays, she would have.
Well, how about
neighbors don't give a shit.
That hockey player that happened.
Oh my God, dude, I saw that. God, that was so awful.
He bled out in like a minute.
But that was the same artery, but I think it was sliced, so it was just like
right. But you would think if a bullet goes through, it's now open. And you're just pumping blood, it's just bleeding. I don't know. I'm sure it's different.
The guy that cut him is being charged for manslaughter.
He should be. If you watch that tape, there's no way any hockey player, like he basically tried to
kick his neck off.
Yeah. Like no hockey player's foot should be that high ever. Ever.
Yeah. I know, that's crazy.
Do you think it was just like he was that mad? He was like, I'm just going to kick him and scare him. And it just was like,
maybe he wasn't
shit.
Yeah, I think he wasn't really thinking.
There's no reason a hockey player's foot should be that high, period. That guy should rot. Absolutely rot. Speaking of rotting, meanwhile, this is, Mary Jo rotting on the table.
I didn't know where you're going with that transition.
Meanwhile,
we'll go with it.
Meanwhile, police made inquiries of Joey as to who could have possibly done such a thing.
Who?
Well, he suggested it could have been Paul Makeley, with assistance from Paul's girlfriend, Amy, who was also a friend of Joey's. So basically, Joey's like, yeah, it could be this mullet dude, Paul Makeley, and his girlfriend Amy. And
that was the gym guy.
Because the gym owning guy, future physique, flux capacitor physique.
Yeah, not knowing that the police would question everybody.
That's right.
Like, be like, so you did know this Amy Fisher, Joey? He was like, oh, yeah, I've heard of her. She was in the shop a few times.
I'm surprised he said anything. Why would he have just said?
Did he?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Did he give him that info before?
Yeah.
He did. Okay,
Yeah.
because I
He talked to him again.
Right. Okay. After. Okay.
Yeah. So while Mary Jo is unconscious for 2 days on a respirator,
he throws that out there.
He put that out there. Look, not for nothing. If it were me, I would have said, I have no idea, officer.
Right.
We live in a nice, beaver cleaver.
Well, most people
neighborhood.
thought it was a home invasion, or they were, trying to rob.
Sure. According to Joey, it was entirely possible that Paul shot Mary Jo out of revenge against him, as Amy had loaned money to Paul, and Joey told Amy it was a bad idea for her to loan money to Paul.
Yeah.
Like, that's the story he concocted. Like, dude.
Stupid people shouldn't commit crimes.
Just say, I don't know.
Right. He's just giving up all the info.
Like, what the fuck? You're telling me, I'm going to be Mr. Police Officer here for a second. Mr. Buttafuoco, Mr. Fire Thrower. You're telling me that you think this dude shot, or his girlfriend, shot your wife because you told his girlfriend that loaning money to him was a bad idea? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems a little
What if the cops
there.
are there, like, doing the little stories on them little notepads? Are like, all right, this is pretty cut and dry. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good here.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
You should be a detective, Joe. You're pretty good.
You're an upstanding citizen, Joe.
Yeah, it's my card this week. We got it this week. It'll be done.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, Joe.
Wow. Though wildly unbelievable, police had little else to go on relative to a suspect. That is, until Mary Jo recovered. On May 20th, Mary Jo regained consciousness. She went on to tell the police the story of Anne Marie Fisher's visit to the house and provided a physical description of her attacker and her attacker's boyfriend's car. Okay. Joey, I don't know is the answer. Like, there is a possibility that your wife's going to wake up. She's going to, we think she's going to forget that she got shot and who shot her and what that person looked like?
Technically, she could have.
Well, they said,
You know what I mean? Like, if
That's
she did come out of
gamble.
it. Yeah.
when she did come out of the coma, or when she was out, she couldn't speak because she had not only she had a breathing tube in her. Yeah.
Girlfriend in a coma, I know.
Is it a Smith song?
It's serious. That's a good song.
Dear Christ.
But she had to get a notepad, and she wrote down like the name and the T-shirt or the shirt and this information and all that. She had to write it down because she couldn't speak.
Yeah.
Probably because of the stroke at the time, and also the breathing tube.
There's that.
Yeah.
Where was the bullet? The bullet, was it lodged in her head? Did it come out like anywhere?
It got lodged in there.
It lodged in.
It was lodged, absolutely lodged, stuck in. They could not get it out.
Tank 25 caliber. She's lucky it was a 25 because it was a 9mm or a
She
45
gone.
that close. Yeah, it would have blew the back of her head out.
Armed with this new information, the police questioned Joey again. Now, Joey, reverting back to his initial story, said, once again, well, it's like I said, it was either that guy or now it's entirely possible that, in fact, it was this girl, this Amy girl.
I don't know her.
I told you that from the gate, right? I said it was either this dude or this girl.
Which he kept telling the police, or he kept telling the police was, yeah, she's a daughter of one of my customers.
Customers, yeah.
There was no talk of like, oh, I had a relationship or anything like that.
Not at all. Oh, wow.
That's all I had to say was I had a relationship with it. Well, then you're in trouble for the underage too. But I don't know if that's a thing after the fact.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. After. I don't know if that's a thing after the fact. I don't think it's a thing until somebody says it's a thing.
Okay.
No, I'm saying it's like, it does. If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? So in this case, if a guy has sex with somebody who's underage, did it happen? Or is it a crime?
Wait, why just a guy? It can be a girl also.
Until you can't. Well, I'm not even going down that road. It's not discovered, or it's not a crime unless the girl says, "Look, man, this guy had sex with me, and I was just a teenager at the time. I was underage."
Yep.
Is that?
Yeah, I think if they come out and make that charge, you know what I mean, then it becomes.
I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that it's not wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't officially become a crime until it's.
You disclose it.
Or if you,
That's right. Yeah.
She's like, if you break up with me, I'm telling the cops.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then you're like, oh.
So police returned to Mary Jo with a photo of Amy, and Mary Jo immediately identified her as the attacker. Well, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Case closed.
It's
Open
all
and
over.
shut case, Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Open and shut.
I saw this once when I was a rookie.
So they're looking for this broad. Apparently, a couple of days go by and Amy's not showing up at her house. So again, now the police know she was identified. Here's the picture. Yeah, that's the chick that shot me in the face. Police are looking for her, could not find her. So the police instruct Joey to contact Amy in order to find out where she was. Now,
So Amy was on the lam.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
but for how long?
Yeah.
where was she at? The mall.
The mall.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going when you're
Sleeping over at your friend's maybe a day or two.
right?
Over at the Complete Auto Body Repair Shop looking
Yeah.
for Joey.
Stopping at the Orange Julius.
Mm-hmm.
Esbarro.
Merry-go-round.
Yeah.
Sparrow. Grab a slice.
Yeah, I was looking at Massapequa on the map, Long Island, and it's not big. And I would imagine looking at like the little, now this is modern day on Google Maps, but it's kind of like the same way our Route 22 is or Carlisle Pike.
Yep.
Everything's right there
Yep.
if you need it. So they probably don't really leave that area.
No, hell no.
You know what
it's
I'm
all
saying?
there.
Yeah.
I mean, they go to like the beach on the weekends, maybe. Or
Maybe. Or
Well,
they stop at Bleeps and Blips Arcade.
Yeah, bleeps and blips.
That was at the Colonial Park Mall way back.
Mm-hmm. But the Buttafuoco's house was like right on the water, like right there. Like they could literally walk to their little beach there. You know what I mean? Oyster Bay, I think it's called, is the bot. But it was like you look, if you see any videos of stuff and pictures of it, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
so they're like today, those are $1 million homes. Easy.
easy.
I
A
would
shack.
think-
The garage is $1 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that just with my work where I'm at after 9/11, a lot of people that lived on Long Island were moving out of Long Island because they were getting so much money for their homes because there was a lot of people like leaving the city after 9/11.
Sure.
All that property value skyrocketed, which I'm sure was already expensive. And then they would transfer, like with my work, they would come down, build a house in Lancaster, like a mansion,
Absolutely.
and they had a 1,500 square foot house or 2,000 square foot house in Long Island. Now they're building an 8,000 square foot house.
Yep.
Never forget.
Yeah. Yep. And it was all right after that. And, so I'd imagine this area is probably way up there in value.
Thanks, Osama.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember, actually, real quick.
It's
That's
never really quick.
It's never real quick.
But I remember where I worked at the time being shut down because they weren't letting any air traffic out that day.
Yes. Couldn't fly. Couldn't.
Yeah, couldn't do anything. It's crazy.
That was a crazy day for all of us, for sure. I'm sure we all remember where we were that day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So now, scared out of his mind as to what she might say, Joey ultimately got a hold of her on the phone, and police discovered that she was now at her parents' house. This makes sense, right? Like he's calling her, but and I'm sure she's excited to get a hold. Holy shit! I got a beep from Joey. Oh, and P.S. When I say he's calling her, he's actually beeping her. I mean, this is 92.
Yeah, she got
people
a
are
beeper.
carrying beepers.
Sky page up.
Hell yeah. SOS.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah. So they go to Amy's parents' house. She is arrested. And she was actually at that point told that it was Joey's call and Joey's interviews with the police that led them to her.
Backstabber.
Yeah. So now she's pissed. She is a woman scorned. Now, immediately, Amy tells the police that she and Joey were lovers and that it was Joey who'd given the gun and the instructions to her. Sounds like a he said, she said to me.
Yeah, where's the proof?
Yeah. She also went on to say that the shooting was an accident, that the gun had accidentally gone off, that she'd only intended to scare Mary Jo, not shoot her.
I don't know.
Well, these stories of Amy's would go all over the place, and she would be asked to tell the same story, and it would be a different version every time. This, of course, diminishes her credibility over and over and over again.
She's not a good liar.
Not at all. Not at all. It was, in fact, it was only thanks to neighbors of the Buttafuocos that Paul Makeley was dismissed as an accomplice, as he did not fit the description of the guy driving that Thunderbird. So that's good.
Yeah.
Good luck for Paul. He could go back to working at the gym.
Yeah. Future physique.
That's it.
It's getting ripped.
Meanwhile, old Joey Buttafuoco was losing his mind. Well, think about it. He knew he couldn't be linked to the gun, nor directly linked to the crime. However, he had been banging a minor, so...
They really can't link him to that.
Yeah, well, that could be problematic, especially when she said that, you know, her and Joey were lovers. But, okay.
And according to her, now, at that time, I don't know if it changed, but at that time in New York, age of consent was 17. But they had started sexual relations, according to her, a month before her 17th birthday.
See, there was no way to prove that. Right?
No, I know, but I'm just saying, according to her testimony, the first time it was like a month before her 17th birthday. So he had like given her a ride home to her house, and their parents were at work that day. And
come on in and have a cup of coffee.
WWKD.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, Kip.
What would Kip do? So this is the part that we all remember now.
Yes.
She's arrested. And the tabloids just eat this up.
The Sun and People Magazine, all them.
Was this before? Or this was before Bobbitt.
God, I don't know.
It was before OJ. We know that, and it was
OJ was 94. That's correct.
I'm not sure about because we did Bobbitt, but it's been a while.
It might have been 91.
Okay, I'm just wondering if this was one of the first of the where it's just on all the time and gets coverage like that. Because those are the big three that I think of from the 90s.
Well, the thing is, I feel like it has because we did Bobbitt, and I can't remember the date.
I think that 1989.
There you go.
It's Bobbitt. Okay, so that was out before that.
Oh, no, hold on. 1993.
Well, which is it? What
No,
was
it said-
89? The year of your phone?
No, it says the former couple married in 89.
No, okay.
Okay.
They received international press coverage in 1993 when Lorena severed John's penis.
So this was that. This was before that.
Yes, this was
There you go.
before.
So this
was
might
the
have been
first.
one of the first where it was just everywhere.
Yeah, dude. And I mean
Salacious.
everywhere. And it was so trashy. And I mean trashy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Think of the shows that were going on back then, though. I mean, there was... 2020 was whatever, but you had like
Current Affair.
a current affair. Maury Povich. That's a man, Maury.
Morton Downey Jr.
Morton Downey Jr. Oh man, that guy was awesome.
Yeah.
He smoked a lot. That's why you liked him. Yeah.
Loved him. That guy was awesome.
Donahue.
Phil Donahue. That's right.
He's dead, isn't he?
As fried chicken.
I would think he was like 90 back then.
Yeah. He wasn't 90, but
He looked old.
he did look old. It was the
He had that white
gray
hair like
yeah.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
He did, but the hairstyle was more like Captain Kangaroo,
Yeah, Captain Kangaroo. Forgot about him.
who was a Marine, by the way.
Captain Kangaroo was.
Wasn't that made up?
What?
They said Captain Kangaroo was a Marine and Fred Rogers was a
Navy SEAL or
Navy
something.
SEAL.
I don't know about Fred Rogers being a Navy SEAL, but for damn sure, Captain Kangaroo was a Marine.
Sally
Thank you
Jesse
for your
Raphael.
She had cool glasses.
Who was the Ricky Lake? I mean, you can just go on and on. There's so many of those shows like that, and they all deal. Now, some of them would change over time. They would get more. Some would be more risky, and then
Oprah.
and then Oprah. Now, Oprah used to do that kind of stuff.
Yes,
right?
she did when she started.
Yeah, but yeah,
Everybody was doing that.
early
though.
'90s is all it was.
Hard copy.
Yeah,
Geraldo.
hard copy. Yes, Gerardo.
No, Geraldo.
Oh,
Remember him?
Gerardo. Yeah,
He broke into the
Suave.
vault and
I'm sure this was on all of them.
You remember that?
I remember when Gerardo.
Yeah, Gerardo broke into the vault.
Yeah, the
Broken
Al Capone's vault.
Yeah.
And
Vault.
There was nothing there.
I watched that live, and I was
Yeah,
all hyped.
So did I.
And I'm like, you get this guy.
That's why I brought it up. I think it's something that you all remember from being a kid.
This
It was- 'cause
asshole. You got no credibility.
Right.
They were pushing it for like 6 months.
I know.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching it for 6 months.
But that's back only too when we had like 20 some channels maybe.
True.
That's when cable was just starting its coolness.
It's coolness.
Right.
So this is when the terms fatal attraction and Long Island Lolita came into vogue. I mean, I know we had mentioned them earlier, but this is when this is now hitting, and it's hot. It is hot.
Did that movie come out? Fatal Attraction? Was that after?
Fatal Attraction was before this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was 80s, wasn't it?
Maybe I've never seen
Yeah.
it. I've heard it was good.
You've had to seen Fatal Attraction.
I've never seen Fatal Attraction.
No way.
I've
for
never
real?
seen it. And I've never seen Basic Instinct either.
What are you doing on Vintage Cinema Review?
I'll get there. I'll get there.
We got to get on them.
Yeah, you got to get on that. Those are good
So people
ones.
were throwing those around, those terms
Dude,
like, hey, it's...
It's worth it. It's
Yeah.
absolutely worth it. So again, these
So you're saying this is hot. This is like
these bloodsuckers are everywhere, and they're reaching out to anyone and everyone they could in hopes of being the first to dish any dirt they could find, like that. And that's how this goes, right? They want to be the first with the fresh, hottest story.
Yo, I had that shit first.
And I had that shit first.
Yo, you guys hear of Anne Marie? Nah, man, I don't know about that.
Well, the first one was a current affair. They obtained a copy of a sex tape of Amy, recorded by one of her escort clients.
And it's ironic. It was a current affair.
It was a current affair.
Yeah.
Now, that was by one of her escort clients, Matt. And it was a sex tape, which means that she had sex while an escort. For money.
How did he not get charged with child porn?
She didn't charge him. Maybe it was because I don't know.
No, but in general, I mean, if he has...
Well, she was probably of age at the time, so she didn't have to say.
Oh, she was 17. You're right. And if age of consent, but I would imagine, because that's considered like a porn,
or she even could have been 18 or whatever when he made the sex tape.
No.
I thought the charges had to be brought by the person. So let's work this Let's work this back mathematically. So she was born on August 21st, 1974. 74. This thing that's going down now is in 92. And it's only a few months before her 18th birthday.
Right. And I guess if age of consent, like I said earlier, was 17.
Then she's good.
She's good to go. But I just would think with I guess if that tape would get distributed, say in a state where it's 18, I wonder if he could have gotten in trouble for that. I don't know. I guess Current Affairs got good lawyers, so I'm sure they looked into that before they were going to buy a tape.
Yeah. But maybe Current Affair doesn't give a shit.
True.
And at the same time, if a girl is going to this happened with Tracy Lords. You guys remember Tracy Lords?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Tracy, I am familiar with her body of work. Right. Absolutely. So I have. No, that's not where I was going. Tracy Lords.
She was underage.
Tracy Lords is doing these porno movies. She's like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, I'm 18. Of course, I'm 18." No, you're not. Not even close. They found out years later,
and they were already
15
out.
or 16 or something. Yeah,
these movies were already out.
Yeah, but now they're like taken. Like they're a lot of you can't find them.
The internet has been scrubbed. The dark internet obviously has not been.
Right,
but the regular internet has been, and any reputable porno site is not going to have the Tracy Lords early years movies on there.
They should be gone. Yeah,
it is in fact thanks to Tracy Lords that now whenever a porno movie is recorded, the starlets of that movie stand with a video camera facing them and a picture of their license, and they say, "Yeah, this is my name. Here is my license. I am of legal age."
Like an age verification thing.
Yep. It's so that the porno movie makers aren't on the hook.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, we talked about that. You can tell how old a tree is. You cut a tree down and you can count the rain, whatever. They have a way, but with humans, I mean, it's just your word or like, paperwork.
Yep.
Like there's no blood test. You can go, oh, your blood's this many years old.
This at the time
you can really get, like somebody make a fake ID. Like he was talking about just that. You can make a fake ID.
Yep.
And still, you know what I mean? Screw over the...
You can. And that's why they're like, look, man, we're doing everything we can here to verify this. Now, if this person is blatantly lying to us, how are we going to stop that?
Right, yeah.
Anyways, so this sex tape, was actually aired on national television on A Current Affair the night before Amy's bail hearing.
Was it edited? I hope they edited it.
Like, they had to put the little like
fuzzies,
in those proper places of fuzziness.
Yeah, they had to put the fuzz over the fuzz because this is the early 90s. They weren't shaving back then.
Nah, probably not.
No,
you got to like cover my legs.
All three of them.
Yeah, the fuzzies.
Yeah, the fuzzy.
I hear they call him Big Dick Matt.
Big Dick Matt. BDM.
They call him Tripod Matt.
Tripod.
Yeah.
I thought Daddy Long Strokes.
Yeah.
So at this point, any shred of credibility Amy might have had is fucking gone. I mean, look, again, trial by media. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. Anybody out there is going to say, you can't keep your story straight, number one. Number two, my opinion of you has diminished completely because you're a prostitute.
Right.
You're a whore. We can't believe you. Mm-hmm. You're a harlot.
Yep.
Yes, judgment is a thing.
I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Nassau County District Attorney held nothing back in his vigorous case against Amy. On June 2nd, her bail was set at $2 million.
$2 million.
Car doors go like this, not like this.
Big time.
Now that number was the highest bail ever set in the county at the time. All right. So a month or so later, PDG confessed to being the one who procured the gun for Amy. Not long after, that gun was discovered in a storm drain near Amy's house.
Wow.
Come on, man.
You got the river or the lake nearby there? The ocean?
It in. I know, dude. You got the river or the ocean
Whatever's right there.
Like, come on, man.
That's like where you go, like, Zap's done like with the gun, goes out. Like with the cigarettes. Throws it into the drain.
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing, man? Oh, they won't find that.
They won't find that.
It's going to be there. That's good.
They never complained about my cigarette butts. They're not going to complain about a handgun.
Gun,
We're going to leave that alone.
That'll burn the evidence.
Maybe.
Right off it.
Maybe. Well, at this point, Joey's in the clear. Like, Joey's great. Like, all the attention's on this crazy bitch. He remained safe and sound and way out of harm's way. The focus was on fatal attraction prostitute Amy, not good old family man Joey.
But PDG, is he an accessory now to attempted murder, or is he like being charged for procuring the gun and all that other stuff? Or
eventually, I'm sure he admitted to procuring a gun for Amy, and this was a hot gun. This was
that's what I mean, like the hot gun, and then he's driving her like a hot gun today. That's like jail 5 years, like automatic or something like that.
You'll be surprised.
Felonious.
You'll be surprised when you find out what he got.
Oh, you'll be surprised.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. So this poor chick, and I use that term tongue in cheek. $2 million is a lot of money. So she's just sitting there rotting in jail, waiting for her trial.
Yeah, Dad's like, I ain't got that on.
It's like, no, you got yourself into this. I'm not paying $2 million on bond to get you out. But after more than 2 months in jail, Amy miraculously made bail. It was secured for her by KLM Productions. That's KLM Productions, who paid it in exchange for exclusive rights to her story. I mean, that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we'll get you out of jail, but look, we are the exclusive ones because a year or two from now, I'm thinking we're going to get, who could we get? Probably Alyssa Milano. Yeah, fuck it. Let's get her.
Right.
Shit, we're doing those stories.
I wonder how they make all that money back on. I mean, I guess with advertisers and stuff, but that just seems like so much money you got to recoup. Well, that when you put, no, I should say, let me take that back. If you put up $2 million for bail.
Yep.
Okay. They use that money just to hold.
Correct.
So you get it back then.
Correct.
Yeah, you don't lose the $2 million.
So they're putting it up just for the rights, and they're not losing $2 million.
They'll get it, assuming she doesn't skip bail.
Yes, if you go back, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if she skips, if she misses a parole hearing, or if she, which is essentially skipping out on bail, or if she goes missing,
that money stays.
That money is, it's out of their pot. It's gone.
That
it's
is
now the government's money.
the state's money.
Yep. Well, a week after Amy made bail, Mary Jo Buttafuoco filed suit against Amy Fisher, PDG, and Amy's parents.
That's what got OJ too.
Mm-hmm.
The glove did not fit.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you get all. See, that always bothered me about our judicial system.
How's that?
No, like where you go, like a civil suit can always end. It always bites you in the ass.
Yep.
You're in front of a jury. 12 people find you not guilty for what you've just been. In a court hearing for whatever. This could go on for months.
Right.
You're found not guilty, and then you have a
civil trial.
Then you still have a civil trial out where they're just trying to get basically a payout, pretty much. And then like in the civil trial, they're always found guilty.
Yeah.
You're like, well, where was this?
It's the level of preponderance of evidence.
Now, is the civil trial, is that just with the judge, right? That's no jury, or is that also a jury for a civil trial?
I don't know. We might have to.
JW.
Phone a friend
please get JW in on that, because it just.
I'm no attorney.
Yeah, I'll have to ask JW on that.
It might but there's juries involved, because when I hear things like juries awarded this and juries awarded that, but is that in the criminal?
That's in the criminal.
Shit,
I think the civil is just in front of a judge, and the judge is the one that's already heard all this stuff from the damn court case. Is like, man, this dude's so guilty.
This dude with the one glove.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
allegedly.
I mean, she was guilty of this, Amy Fisher.
Well, as allegedly. So
that'd be cool if the judge showed up that jersey on.
But
really.
That'd be fantastic.
But OJ, you really don't know. I mean, you really don't know.
You don't.
You don't even know.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. One glove. All
Lucky
right.
just to have just one glove.
Thank you, Matt, for picking that up.
Thank you.
All right. But Matt,
that was good harmony. I like that.
You got it. So as you had mentioned, this could have gone on for months,
if
not years. Well,
like this podcast.
No trial necessary. Real quick.
This episode.
Yeah.
No trial necessary. Facing the potential of a maximum of 50 years in prison.
Good
for
Lord.
50 years for attempted murder in the second degree, criminal use of a firearm in the first degree, armed felony assault, and other charges.
Damn.
Amy's lawyers had a trick up his sleeve. Instead of going to trial, Amy accepted a plea bargain of 5 to 15 years in prison in exchange for dropping a dime on Joey. They were investigating him for some shit. I mean, this guy wasn't squeaky.
No, he was not. But I mean, was it like, well, I mean, he owned that, or he didn't own the complete auto body repair shop.
His dad did. I think he did have part of it. I think he had bought out like part of it, or
It was like a tax evasion type thing, or
I got a feeling in all of this that Amy had said, well, look, there's this, but he does this bad and he does this. He skims things. He gets fake insurance claims, or he knows how to do this, that, or the other thing, or he's a scam artist, or he does all this other shit to, again, like I'm thinking like maybe insurance fraud or some other shit. Like he's doing some real dirty shit at that shop.
And then they're also looking at him as being grimy too for having an affair with a 15, 16-year-old
That's right.
girl.
He's banging
So
a
he
teenager.
could have put any kind of influence on her. She was the one like, oh, you know, he had his hair slicked back. He smelled like grease and he was getting all worked up. And they're like, this guy's taking advantage of her. I get it.
So greasy.
Dropped the dime on him.
So sexy. Well, poor Amy. 2 days after the plea deal, the television show Hard Copy aired a video secretly recorded by our friend Paul Makeley the day before Amy accepted the plea deal.
What did she say?
Well, as chance would have it, Paul had visited her in prison. During their conversation, Amy stated she wanted a Ferrari as payment for all she'd gone through, and that she hoped Paul would marry her so she could have conjugal visits.
Guys, look, doors go like this.
Yeah, that's something a teenager would say. Like,
Absolutely.
I want a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Like,
So yeah, that I guess Paul asked the question like, gosh, you know, if you could have anything, you know, after all of this, after all you've been through, and the right answer is, I wish this stuff would have never happened,
away,
or
yeah.
I want to go away, or I want to disappear so nobody ever sees me. Her answer is, well, I want a Ferrari because I've been through a lot of shit.
yeah, you ask like 16-year-old Dave, like, what? I want a Porsche. Like,
Sure.
I'd have a Porsche or a Ferrari. You ask, you know, Dave 10 years later, it's like, like that 3-row SUV be nice.
Toyota Highlander.
Yeah.
They're pretty
Land
efficient.
Cruiser would be
Yeah.
nice, or you know, something with utility. Just like that's just tells you like the
Something with good towing capacity.
right. I mean, she's 17 years old,
Yeah.
or 18. I guess
She's
at
a
this
child,
point.
man.
Right.
But this Paul Makeley guy thought ahead though. He was kind of like, you know what? I'm protecting myself.
I'm gonna get some money out of this.
You got-
Hard Copy's gonna give me some money.
I think it was 10,000.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look, 10 grand in 92 is some good money.
Yeah, that guy's like, I didn't have 10 grand 10 minutes ago.
That's
So
right.
10 grand is 10 grand.
Shit, yeah.
$5 is $5.
Hell yeah. With grill marks. Well, in October 1992, the Nassau County DAs publicly stated that they would not prosecute Joey Buttafuoco as they didn't have enough evidence against him to make a case.
Hey, broke your cherry. Hey.
Which tells me that they gave up the 50 years they could have had on Amy. They gave that up for nothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Get something out of it.
Yep. They got nothing out of it. Then in December of 92, Amy was sentenced to 15 years in prison, which is a hell of a lot less than 50.
Right.
So she could get out and do something.
Yeah. When you're that young, it's not that bad.
That was for the firearm. All right, what did they convict her of? Pretty much everything.
Yeah, that was just the plea deal.
plea deal, yeah.
All in. And then a couple months later, in February 93, old PDG, Peter Gugenti, was sentenced to 6 months
There we go.
in jail for obtaining the gun for Amy.
It's not bad.
6 months.
And I think
that's
he
not bad.
I think he might only serve like 4 months
Good
out
for
of the
him.
6. You know what I mean? So it was like nothing.
But for him, even with the getaway car, telling her to go back and get the shit, like they were like, we'll let that slide. Just
Bitch, go get the gun.
yeah,
Or was it go get the gun, bitch?
I mean, that's what good lawyers will get you. You know what I mean?
exactly.
They got good lawyers, and they want this shit to be over with. So a lot of times they'll just like, hey, at least we got them on something,
Yep.
and let's end it.
This just sounds crooked too, but a lot of them lawyers with pool and like big cases like this, they like having their name out there, like, oh, I only got the guy 6 months.
Yeah, and it looks
Yeah.
good on your.
Yeah, it looks good on it for everybody.
Right.
Now, I got a feeling that Amy Fisher didn't have OJ money, so it's not like she had a dream team, but I wonder whomever her attorney was, if he ended up becoming like somebody popular, because Hey, I represented Amy Fisher. I got her down from 50 to 15.
Yep.
Right. I'm not sure. I wanted to ask you about something about, I don't know, somebody involved with.
It wasn't a Kardashian.
No, but something involved with her that when they went back to trial later on, something came out about, I don't know if it was a lawyer or who it was. Do you have anything on that? Like there was some inappropriate maybe or.
Back to trial. Back to trial for what?
Yeah.
Would you mean that? Are you referring to in the same month as old PDG's sentencing? That's February of 93, only a few months after the Nassau County DA publicly stated they would not prosecute Joey, that the Nassau County DA's office reopened their case against Joey Buttafuoco?
Well, not that, but later on, I think.
Dang.
I'll wait till the end.
You're going to Future Fitness here.
Yeah.
Future Physique.
Maybe that's why he wasn't charged the first time, because they could figure out they got more on him.
One more time, despite being a harlot, an escort, a prostitute, as it were, Amy was, in fact, a minor at the time of her and Joey's sexcapade.
Oh.
This is where Amy would go on to tell her side of the story of Joey Buttafuoco, which included hotel receipts. Did you, either of you guys see that? Like, yeah. Listen, I am no criminal, but I can tell you, and I've said this over and over and over again, do not bring ink and paper into this.
Cash, man.
You're leaving
Cash, man.
Yeah, you're leaving a
Cash.
trail, basically. Yeah.
You sign a false name. Do what like the like rock stars do, man. Just put like anybody.
Fake names, yeah.
Yeah.
So the hotels they had gone to, or the hotel they had gone to, Joey does whatever he does, and he's signing on these receipts when he's there. Sure, Joey Buttafuoco. Sure, Joey Buttafuoco. All Amy has to do is name some dates that she was at a hotel with Joey, go to the hotel records. Sure enough, there's the receipts. Fuck you, Joey. We got you.
Joey,
Yeah.
you idiot.
Yeah, he's a real idiot. So Joey, now in flagrante delicto, could soon come to be indicted on 19 counts. 19 counts of statutory rape, sodomy, and endangering the welfare of a child.
More counts than she has years on Earth.
Wait, what was that thing you said?
Sodomy?
No.
Statutory rape?
No, before that. You said in fraude conducto. What was that?
In flagrante delicto.
Book of the Dead.
Yes.
No, I thought that was a place I took my wife for her anniversary. I was like, they got some banging calamari there.
Flagrante delicto.
Yeah.
That's when
Is
you
that in
get-
Lebanon? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there.
Flagrante delicto. It's like a different version of Bananas Foster.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's delicious.
They light your dinner on fire.
No, but yeah, it was a great place to eat. I highly recommend
Plantains.
So in flagrante delicto basically means caught in the act. You're flagrante. So you are busted. Like there's no chance.
it. And it was between that place and Dorcia's.
I couldn't get a
Couldn't get in.
reservation.
Couldn't get a res.
Nope.
All right. So after all of this, though initially pleading not guilty and proclaiming his innocence, Joey soon changed his tune. He changed his plea to guilty on one count of statutory rape. Joey went on to serve 6 months in jail.
That was it.
Now I'm going to do that one more time in a summary. 19 counts of statutory rape, sodomy, and endangering the welfare of a child, to which he pled guilty to one
Right.
count of statutory. And he, for even just one count of statutory, he served 6 months in jail.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Everybody's getting off easy.
Shit, yeah, except Amy.
All day long.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe Amy's maybe Amy's sentence wasn't so bad.
No, 15 out of 50 possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're saying all
And
these
Did she serve 15? Maybe.
all these receipts, those were all at times that she was 16, right? She wasn't quite 17.
Correct.
Well,
So it would have to have been, correct?
It would have had to have been when she was not of
consent,
age
of
of
17.
consent, right.
So
would
he
have
had
to been in
so
that.
those 19 counts were all times that he had receipts for when she was underage.
And you
Yep.
figure, okay, she's, according to her, their first time together was a month before she was 17, and they were meeting like twice a week. at
Shit,
least.
yeah,
So
slapping it.
if not more. So all those counts probably happened in that month.
Could have.
Well, they would have all had to. If that number is accurate, as far as like she's saying that was their first
Although
counter.
maybe 19 is the sum of all of the statutory rapes, all of the blowjobs, all of the butt dugs, and all of the endangerings.
So
Right.
is that through interviews? Do they say, well, do they ask like, how did you have sex? And that's
Well, that's
where,
what we talked about before. Like how many?
no, I'm saying, is that where the sodomy charge comes from? She was like, Yeah, we did.
I had
we did
oral
the
sex.
we did the Buttafuoco.
Yeah,
and they were like, okay, that's a charge.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So okay, you went to a hotel this day, and what happened that day?
What happened that day?
We had sex, which statutory rape because I wasn't of the age of consent. 2, I gave him a blowy J. Okay, they'll call that sodomy. Although in my
I know, yeah, we discussed
sodomy,
that.
as far as I'm concerned, is butt sex. That's not a blowjob.
Right.
So okay, fine. They had butt sex. That's count number 2 plus whatever.
I think it depends what your definition of sex is.
I did not have sex with that woman, Ms. Monica Lewinsky.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I think sex. I think the statutory rape would be the oral sex, or is that like you said with the sodomy is the oral?
It could have been either.
Could have been either or.
It could have been just in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably like. The cops were probably like, they didn't say it that way. They were just probably like, a little, and then they were like, what else happened?
Right.
And she was probably like,
yeah.
The old corn press.
Yeah, the old cornhole. I'm not talking about the game.
No.
Nope.
Well, good for Amy.
Good for Amy.
There is a shining light to this whole thing. So that went down in 92 sentenced to 15 years. After only 7 years, Amy was released from prison in 1999.
So she partied like it was 1999.
She sure did.
That's
I
awesome.
gotta believe that New Year's Eve was the
amazing.
sweetest,
Yeah,
the most amazing New Year's Eve she ever had.
that was awesome.
She ended up becoming a columnist for the Long Island Press. She married a guy named Lou Bellera in 2003. With
Lou, friend of yours.
Yeah, I know Lou. I do know Lou.
Lou.
Yeah,
Lou Bellera.
Yeah,
That sounds like a porn name in and of
yeah,
itself.
Lou Bellera.
So she married.
that sounds like a fitness gym. Come to Lou Bellera's fitness for like old people.
Come to
Like this guy got
Bellera's.
like white hair.
Bellera's biceps.
Yeah, he got like white hair and like a big gold chain.
He does.
Come to Lou Bellera's Tuesdays. All you can eat and drink and fitness.
Yeah.
That's Lou Bellera. I don't know. It sounds like him.
And cigarettes.
And cigarettes.
So she married Lou in 2003, with whom she would go on to have 3 children.
Oh,
But alas, not but 12 years later, they divorced in 2015. She did release an autobiography in 2004 titled If I Only Knew.
that Joey was 38. Now it's 16.
She left the Long Island Press in 2005. She appeared alongside Mary Jo Buttafuoco in 2006 on Entertainment Tonight and The Insider.
See, what a payout on that. Like, come on.
Making bank.
Yeah.
This is where, I believe in our previous episode, the question was asked, was it Joey's influence? Was it Amy? Like, who was telling the truth?
Mm-hmm.
It was during the interview on The Insider, the second one, that she had finally said at the end, Joey had nothing to do with it. The whole plan was mine the whole time.
The whole thing was okay. So she admitted to it. Then.
Yeah. She later appeared alongside Joey himself in 2006 for the coin toss at the Lingerie Bowl. You guys remember that? Did they still do that?
I think they.
They
No,
have
I don't know if they.
they
do.
have a league still,
like Super
don't
Bowl
they?
Sunday. But those
Whoa.
girls aren't in lingerie. though.
Whoa. The Lingerie League?
Yes,
Something
there's-
similar. The
That's
girls
a
are.
thing?
Yeah.
That's legal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Shit, yeah.
I think in only 38 states. I think
Yeah.
a couple have not joined the.
I see it like I
Group
see
yet.
it like on
And Guam.
Yeah, I've seen like clips and stuff. They still
And-
play. Like the girls are wearing like real almost like thongs and like
Pretty
I don't
much,
know
yeah.
that they're really.
Baby.
Yeah,
I don't know, like being tackled though, like the brush burn got to be intense.
yeah, I know.
Is it tackle or is it like flag football?
No, it's tackle.
No, they actually
Dang.
hit.
Are they all lubed up?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I
You
mean,
can
that
see
would make
it.
sense.
It's again on the YouTube, on the
Shit,
internet.
yeah.
Check
All
it
right.
out.
I got to check my
It's a
internet.
whole lingerie league.
I'm in it.
real quick before we get to the.
I want to get a coach.
to the. It's never real quick.
It's never
but-
real
It's
quick.
never really
So
quick.
she was. What I was gonna talk about was she was released in 2009, like you said.
No, she was released in 1999.
Or sorry, she was released in 1999, like you said.
Yep.
Mary Jo was a big part of her getting out. She had written a letter basically saying she served enough time. Like she had wrote a note to Mary Jo basically saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. I know what I did was wrong and all this stuff." And then they found out she had a new a lawyer come in, I guess, and there was somebody that was, I don't know if it was her lawyer or somebody involved in the first case, that there was some inappropriate stuff going on maybe. and they were like, hey, you got to throw this case out. Instead of going through trial again and doing all that, they were just like, hey, why don't we just end the sentence here and we'll be done with it. Another, like these other people where they're just kind of shortening the sentence and getting it over with instead of wasting time on more court time and court cases. We're just going to let her out.
That's a wild as hell fun fact. I had no idea about that.
And Mary Jo actually showed up and, vouched for her, like let her out. So if the person you tried to kill was saying, look, they've served enough time, let them out, they're probably going to
she's probably feeling bad too because she knew her husband was an asshole.
No.
Yeah, they got divorced shortly after.
Everyone, time. There's no one that's getting shot in the face, pistol whipped and shot in the face that feels bad about the person that did it to them. Shouldn't be. This is a very giving woman.
Jesus.
Whatever.
Right.
Forgive them.
He never had that sweet Amy Fisher love.
Yeah.
Even Jesus himself would pistol whip Mary Jo.
That's part 2 of the Bible.
But what they were saying is that her trial, the first one, should have been thrown out.
Because on the seventh day, the Lord rested with Amy Fisher.
That's it.
No, but I think Mary Jo was like, she could see how much, like, she probably, I don't know.
Time heals all wounds.
Yes, it does.
Dave, I feel bad. I feel like I cut you off there with the Jesus thing.
No, you're good. I was just saying, like, I thought that was wild
that's bananas is what that is.
That she, and that, I don't know what was going on with the lawyer or whoever it was. They didn't really.
Was Amy Fisher sleeping with the lawyer?
They didn't say that. They just said that.
Maybe it was just a blowjob.
No, they didn't say any of that. But
sodomy.
It was something where they were like.
Just sodomy.
They said her representation was tarnished. Like there was something that happened or something that was going on that was like, look, none of this, all that stuff from the first trial needs to be thrown out. She needs a new trial. And they're like, we're not doing that. She's already been in for 12 years. Was it?
7.
Oh, it was only 7 at that point.
7.
So yeah,
92 to 99.
Okay, so 7 years. Like, all right, that's enough. We're just done. We'll let her out and be done with it.
Nice.
So, yeah,
that's fantastic. That's good justice right there.
And now to the fun stuff.
That's the American way. Oh,
shows how crooked our real judicial system is.
There's no crookedness at all.
Now I'm going to shine with my expertise. Let's get to the next.
Okay.
So here's some
shine on, crazy diamond.
All right. So only a few years later, after appearing with Joey Buttafuoco for the coin toss at the Lingerie Bowl. She released a pay-per-view porno movie titled Amy Fisher, Totally Nude and Exposed in January of 2009.
Wouldn't it just porno wrap that up? Like she had to add that. She's like, you know what would be a good idea if I was totally nude and exposed in my own porno?
I think she had to use the term exposed to try to tap into the fact of her having gone through, the judicial system, the everything, gone through trial and prison.
They put her through so much.
I think AI wrote it, like the title. She put it in there. And
I am sure. Yeah. I wonder if AI wrote the next one. The next year, she released a porno movie, Deep Inside Amy Fisher. That was in September of 2010.
Right. Both available online, I'm sure.
I promise you.
I would guess.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I've since erased my browser history, but yes, they are out there.
Why do you have to be deep inside Amy Fisher? Why couldn't it just been inside Amy
Fisher? Just the tip?
Or just the tip in Amy Fisher?
Again, these are people that want to know the story. The true story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to get Titanic on Amy Fisher's
This is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. All right, so enough about Amy. Now on to Joey. Where are they now? So after this all went down, Joey moved to L.A. after his release from prison, which again was only 6 months. That was 92. So he was arrested in 1995 for soliciting sex from an undercover
Joey. Come on, man.
Posing as a prostitute.
He liked the hookers, man.
Can't leave it go.
Yeah.
A few years later, he appeared in an episode of Celebrity Boxing in May 2002, where he fought and won against Joni China Laurer.
Now, I know you guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember Celebrity Boxing. I remember China from, I love WWF.
Wrestler.
Yeah.
She is now dead.
She is dead. And I certainly remember this episode of Celebrity Boxing.
What was that on MTV? Was it Celebrity Deathmatch?
Deathmatch,
you guys remember that?
Animated.
Absolutely.
Or like claymation or whatever.
But I do have a fun fact on that event, that pay-per-view event with the
what
boxing. Weird Al Yankovic was first approached for that pay-per-view event.
Yeah.
To fight Buttafuoco?
Yes, to fight
China.
China.
Oh, for real?
And then Adam Carolla was also You guys remember him from MTV?
Yeah, Adam Carolla, the comedian. Yeah,
he was also approached. He was like, "Hell no, I don't do that."
Get your ass beat.
What I had read, and Matt is absolutely correct, and both said no. Both said no for the same reason. They didn't believe that fighting a woman on television would further their careers.
Yeah, it would be a hinder.
Yeah,
instead of a help.
They probably would lose.
But Buttafuoco was like, "I need some money, man. I'll do whatever you need."
She was big. Like
China would kick all of our asses together.
Yeah.
No, but remember, Buttafuoco like put a whooping to her pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
a big dude.
He was not a small guy.
He ended up winning by not a TKO. It was a win by decision. Like all of the judges were tied except like one or two.
Oh, he didn't knock her out then.
No.
So it wasn't another love TKO. You remember that scene? What? You don't know that song?
No.
Love TKO.
Oh, Love TKO.
No thanks.
Oh man, great song.
A year after that, 11 years after the whole everything went down, Joey divorced Mary Jo Buttafuoco in 2003 after 26 years of marriage.
What? 26 years.
It's all right. Joey stayed busy. He was charged with auto insurance fraud in 2004 after instructing undercover investigators how to file false insurance claim. And he was sentenced to a year in prison.
This guy is so freaking dumb.
Why
is he always going? He's going like, you can't tell all that time. You can't tell what an undercover prostitute would be. You can't tell like these guys. Could you say that again, Joey?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, really? You can't hear me? Joey, could you say that again? No, right here.
funny.
Lean closer to my chest, Joey.
Yeah, he's got a pod mic.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Let's see. So he served a year in prison, got out of prison. Oh, finally, he was charged and found guilty of possession of ammunition, which for any three of us is fine, but
Not for a prisoner.
not for a convicted felon.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a result of that, he served 3.5 months in jail and was released in late April 2007.
Yeah, my wife's uncle. Well, I call him uncle as well. Just a fun fact: if you go on a trip at an airport, don't take your hunting bag and then use it to put your clothes in or anything you're gonna pack. He left ammunition in there, like in one of the pockets, and forgot about it. So they were going to get checked through at TSA, and they found the ammunition, and they were like, "Yeah, you know." So I mean, they just told him he had to take the stuff out.
Yeah,
but yeah, don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Another
Check
thing,
what's in your bag.
Like Dave said, another public service announcement is Zap likes to mention, don't if you're going to do one thing wrong, don't do 2, 3, 4 at a time.
If you're gonna if you're gonna do anything illegal, don't do any more than one at a time.
Right.
So it was funny.
One at a time.
Last night, coming back from the Bacon Brothers show, I was getting through Hershey there, and there was like the yellow light, and I sped up and went through, and Megan's like, "Oh my God, there's a cop right there." I didn't have anything to drink, so I was kind of like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't give it. What's it going to do? Pull me over. Were you drinking tonight, sir? No. All right, you mind license, registration? Have a talk with the cop. The cop would have been like, "Yeah, go ahead, have a good night." We just saw the Bacon Brothers. Hey, Kevin freaking Bacon. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, don't ever, if you're going to be drinking and you've had like 5, 6, you don't go running through the yellow light.
Correct.
With a tail light out. Or
With
something.
you just
Correct.
Just be careful what you're doing.
Just
you're going to do something.
Throw your keys out.
That doesn't work. No, that's
we learned that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Who taught us that? Box dose.
No siree.
I wasn't driving.
Yeah.
Fun fact:
Yes.
not but 2 weeks into their affair. 2 weeks.
Who, Joey and Amy's?
Amy and Joey's.
Oh, okay.
Amy got herpes from Joey.
The gift
Damn.
that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
The whole life
Yep.
through.
So how's that work? Like she has herpes.
Well, they had
No-
sex.
No, I know that.
And then they.
No, I
they-
get all that. But the herpes part, like,
How do you go on being a sex worker with herpes?
well, not only that, but like then later on, like this Lou.
I don't think there was checks back. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
But my point is that like this Lou guy, now anybody she's with now, she has herpes. So as soon as you sign up to like do stuff with her, you're going to get herpes, right? Or
So,
is there like
Again, I was thinking about that too, and I am no scientist, but I thought you had to be in the outbreak phase of herpes
To get them
to be able
pass
to
them.
convey herpes. Like it's so like you get pimples, right? Or you get cold sores, or you get whatever.
Cold sores herpes.
A cold sore is a herpes. So when you don't have a cold sore, you still have the propensity, let's say, to get a cold sore.
it's just not there.
It's just not there. So again, I'm no scientist, and I would love for somebody to mailbag this, but I think there's something about the herpes that goes dormant when one doesn't have an
So if the
outbreak.
herpes aren't flaring up, you're good to go.
Yeah. So which tells me that maybe he had a couple of pimples. Joey Fat One had a couple of pimples down there, and as he's bumping uglies with Amy, whatever kind of ooze had coming out of him, wiped itself onto her.
Or did she have to have a cut? Or does it just go because is it the innards?
Look, I'm no scientist again, but it could just be juices touching.
Shouldn't we have learned this in high school? Like, shouldn't we know these facts?
No, in high school we weren't supposed to have sex.
Yeah,
they never told us about it.
We saw videos of people dying like after they busted a nut.
That's right. If you have premarital sex, your head will explode
and you will die right there, and your parents will know, and they will know, and Jesus will
show up at your doorstep and shoot you in the head.
You'll be done.
It's like an Amy Fisher thing. Like, knock, knock. Who's that? Oh shit, it's Jesus. God damn it!
I told you not to have sex.
I told you. What are you thinking?
You messed up.
So again, no scientist, but somehow he conveyed herpes to Herb. And while that happens all of the fucking time, I really do think you need to be in that activity.
So you'd be able to see before you would have the sexy time.
Correct.
You'd be like, oh, there's something going on down there.
Flaring up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spread it.
Like when you're seeing,
and they make drugs for that shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. That's what I'm saying. Like if, like, say later in life she marries this guy and she's got herpes, like, and I don't have it. Let's say the guy, is there a way to, I guess, outside of wearing a condom? You probably don't want to do that when you're married all the time.
No, they had 3 children. I mean, they were, you want
to go raw, but
are the kids born with herpes?
No.
If a mother has herpes, are the kids born with herpes? Like AIDS?
No, what if the mother has an outbreak while she's having the baby? Can the baby get like eye herpes?
I don't know. Now with AI, this episode is going to be called Herpes and Amy Fisher. You know what I mean? Because
we're going to do our whole next episode will be on herpes, how to prevent them, what to do if you have them.
If someone has the AIDS and they have a kid,
does the kid have AIDS?
Does the kid have AIDS?
Yeah, but the AIDS is that's like a cold now. Like you see all the freaking commercials.
I saw Magic Johnson at a fucking basketball game the other night. He was at a Duke Michigan State, so he's at Michigan State. So he was at a Duke Michigan State basketball game, and there he is sitting up there with his it's
Arsenio Hall.
It's not GQ, it's some other Q in the name of it.
In the
Qbert.
In the clothing, you mean?
Yeah.
Q.
Or maybe it's D&G. It's not a Q. It's D&G.
Dolce Gabbana.
He's wearing that's it. It's not a Q. So he's wearing a D&G sweatshirt, and he's just sitting up there, smiley, Mr. Billionaire himself, Magic Johnson,
right? Who
has apparently a Magic Johnson that he can
get AIDS and nothing happens.
He can get AIDS and then not have AIDS.
Yeah, that's what Chappelle has, that whole bit, like calling to work. I'm not going to be in my AIDS is acting up today.
Well, they had that. Did you guys see the South Park episode where they showed what the cure for AIDS was?
No.
They showed Magic Johnson. He would like back up his car and he had all this money in it, and they'd like grind the money up and they'd like inject it back into him.
That's fucking fantastic.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it. He was like, oh man, there it is.
It works.
It does work. Money's a strange thing.
There was another fun fact I had. I'll just get this one out here really quickly. I know we had spoken. The three of us were talking probably off the air about
off the air. I like that.
Joey Buttafuoco and his involvement with the Howard Stern show.
Yes.
Or the whole story and its involvement with the Howard Stern show. Again, this is back in the 90s. This is back when he was still on terrestrial radio.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped listening to him when he went off.
Yeah, when he went to pay-per-view.
Yeah. This is just within weeks of her bail hearing, of Amy's bail hearing, just a couple of weeks after. Again, this is Joey thinking he's completely on the, he's off the hook completely. He had actually called the Stern show to further declare his innocence.
Yeah, because some guy called in on that episode of Stern and was saying like, oh, I'm his pool guy, and I saw them having lunch and doing stuff and whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's listening to this. Joey's listening on the air, hears it live, and he's like, I don't even have a pool. So he calls the Stern show.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The fuck out of here.
So he calls and gets through. He's like, hey, this is the real... And the guy is, asking him questions to make sure it's the real guy. And he's like, yeah, I guess this is... So they patch him through, and then he had that interview with Howard. Mm-hmm. But it was all based on like somebody calling in and making up a story. So that was pretty wild.
Real Joey Buttafuoco, please stand up.
One other thing too, real quick. Yeah, here we go, real quick.
Yeah, no, we're not saying that anymore.
Did you know? Fun fact.
Okay.
So we talked about the time she went to Mary Jo's house and shot her and attempted to murder her.
That was the time for sure.
Did you know there was a time before that she went to her house?
I did not.
So there was a gentleman that she befriended and initially was going to do this crime like 6 months or a year earlier. I forget what the time frame was, but it was before it actually went down. She had showed up with this guy, and they had bought candy bars at a grocery store, and she had brought these candy bars and was basically posing as a door-to-door, like, hey, I'm from Massapequa High School. And
that was in the movie, right?
It was but it was in real life too. Okay. Like it happened. because they went back and tied it all together, and that's how they were able to say it was premeditated and all that. So she went and was like, I'm selling these candy bars for Massapequa High School, and the guy she had hiding around the corner with the gun, waiting.
He got scared.
Yeah, she was like waving him over, and he didn't come, and then Mary Jo was like, nah, you know, we have enough candy. This is the day after Halloween. It was November 1st. And then Mary Jo went in, finally gave in. She was like, oh, whatever. I'll give you $1 for the candy bars, whatever I think it was $1 she was charging. Gave her the $1, took the candy bar, brought it inside, flipped it over. And there was a grocery sticker there, 59 cents. She was like, oh, they scammed me. You know what I mean? So at that point, she's thinking it's just these kids scamming to get money. Right. Well, it comes back later on. They come to ask her, the police and stuff, hey, do you remember a girl coming here selling candy bars? And she's like, yeah, how'd you know that? And she's like, that was Amy. She didn't put two and two together. It was the same girl.
That's so
that
crazy.
Happened. Yeah, later. Then she realized, well, wait a minute. She's been planning this for like at least 6 months, maybe a year.
We call that premeditated. Although in my affinity for the English language, I would just call it meditated.
Yeah.
I don't know how you meditate before you meditate. Premeditate. That's like preheat, pre-cook, pre-whatever. No, just call it the fucking word.
That guy's name.
Heat before?
Yeah. How do I turn my oven on before I turn my oven on? Yeah. What the fuck is preheat? Go fuck yourself.
That guy's name was Steve Sleeman.
Passion.
People
Such hatred for the preheat.
It's just dumb. People just say shit to make shit up.
To make it up. Steven Sleeman was the guy's name.
Sleeman.
That's not even a real name.
But Seaman, yeah, Sleeman.
Good old Sleeman Steven.
Hey guys, can you wrap it up?
Oh, her timing is perfect.
I know, right?
But how does she know how to do that?
Thank you.
I don't know. It's almost like it's
easy. Come on, was it that bad?
No. I was thanking her for letting us know we could have been here for another day.
I'm just glad she's not coming down in here and shooting us in the face.
That's right.
It's almost like it's a magic button or something. But yeah, that was a good one, man. That was really fun to cover.
Yeah. It's a good trip down memory lane.
Yeah, like for me, that was all like we were about the same age as Amy. Like I said, when this went down, I remember thinking like, oh, she's sleeping with a 36-year-old. Like, oh my God! Like thinking like
then you become 36.
Yeah. Now I'm 10 years plus past that, and I'm like, oh, that's young. 36. You know, it's just crazy how like to me. But looking at Joey Buttafuoco too, like watching the old, like he looked older. You know what I mean? But we always talk about that with movies and stuff like that. He
was a little rugged
for sure.
Yeah. He was using alcohol-based skin products.
Yeah.
Fire thrower.
I loved going back to just remembering all of those trashy, shitty shows and how poorly put together they were. But now I realize, and I don't watch
the made-for-TV movies.
I don't watch much television anymore, but the amount of trashy shit that's out there now is just unbelievable.
Yeah, Real Housewives of this.
Oh my
and that,
God, all that bullshit. Just
terrible. Oh, you mean just like shit television?
Yeah,
just trash TV.
Yeah, listen to podcasts. That's where it's at.
That's what's up.
Yeah, Matt, you got anything in closing?
No. Just it was a good, like you said, a good trip down memory lane. I'm surprised Buttafuoco didn't get charged for murder.
Yeah,
all them shots to Amy's face.
Top shelf, sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
Thank you.
Anyway. There.
I'm here all night.
Did you know those two got back together later on?
What?
Yeah.
Like a hookup or just like
no,
a
they
fling?
were on TV like, holding hands together and they were like, hey, we're getting back together.
Where was that in the fun fact? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or was it just to try to get more money or like a...
I don't know if it was a publicity stunt or anything like that, but if you look online, I'll show you guys when we're done here. There's a video of them like together. Like, and they're like, oh, I think we always had true love. It was always meant to be. And they're like kissing and making out and this and that. Yeah. So they were doing a lot of shit here down the road to try to drum up, make money and stay relevant and stuff. But who's to say?
Look, man, if you have Bret Michaels and he goes into that house with all of those chicks after he's burned out from, washed out from poison, he goes on to that show, the Bret Michaels sex house or whatever the hell it was.
Right.
I mean, these two could absolutely do the same. In fact, I read something somewhere that after Amy divorced her husband, Lou.
Yeah.
Who's Lou? After she divorced Lou, Joey broke up with his, at the time, girlfriend because he had already been divorced years earlier.
Right.
And there was talk that those two get together to do some kind of celebrity...
fighting, boxing or something like that.
Boxing or one of those things where like you're living in this basically like real world, but just celebrity couples, like those two living together in the same house for a bit.
Great idea.
Well, there was a video of those two going at it like in a pre-fight thing, almost like UFC. Nice. They're like, and then that Lou guy swings on him and like hits him in the face and they end up in a tussle and it was all like for publicity and stuff like that. But who knows?
It reminded me of the Chappelle Real World episode. If anybody gets a chance, you need to see that.
Chappelle's the best.
Yeah, he is. He's good.
So funny.
The best.
Yeah. Maybe someday we'll have him on. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes,
These
please.
days.
So I guess that's it for now. We'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace. Thanks for hanging out in the old dirty basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is available streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We outie 5000.